Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. I'm your host, Joe Two in Love, here with another Sports Overview Topics edition for you guys. Thank you all for joining me. Just to clarify, because I know that I'm still unfortunately not doing color with it's still black and white, my videos, but just want to clarify that I'm okay. This is just Ash Wednesday for you guys. But yeah, just want to clarify because, it's black and white, so yeah. But anyways, thank you guys for joining me. Got some key stuff to go over today in regards to Eric Bieniemy, which was a bit of a surprise for many. And now he's not a head coach, but he is also now a offense coordinator for the Washington Commanders. So, pretty much a lateral move to now the NFC. So, and we got some of his former playmakers at running back giving some opposite criticism / support for him, which give my thoughts on in a bit. A little bit of hockey news for the first time in a while. Toronto Maple Leafs and a big 3-team draft in the NHL. Plus we'll give thoughts on the direction some of the teams as well. Go over NBA All-Star break. Of course, went over that this past weekend. Some unsung heroes. But yeah. Again, thank you for joining me. If you're new to the podcast, before we get into it, click the subscribe button there in the corner. Click on HO2 in Love. You can find all my videos on the channel. Sports Overview Topics, Pro Wrestling Reviews. You can find those playlists up in the channel and the podcast. But yeah, thank you, and let's get started. So, Eric Bieniemy. Go over the big topic right out of the gates. Eric Bieniemy, who his name has been affiliated in or has come up in head coaching interviews and discussions over the last number of years as, of course, being the Chiefs offense coordinator. And we know how that offense run with Andy Reid at the helm as the head coach. But, we've seen over the last number of years, Doug Peterson was the offense coordinator under Andy Reid. He went to the Eagles, won a Super Bowl as a head coach. Was a bit successful, nonetheless, in Philly. Now he's with Jacksonville. In his first season, took and the largest playoff win in the franchise history for the Jags. Him, Matt Nagy. We saw him get a shot in Chicago with the Bears. Took the team to the playoffs the first year. And a double doink ended a spectacular first season, which he won Coach of the Year. And then next couple of seasons, very stagnant in the record, the results, but he did make the playoffs again when the 17th extra playoff team was announced. But nonetheless, that abruptly ended, and now he's back with Kansas City. Coincidentally, maybe Eric Bieniemy's successor. But this is a move that has a lot of critique and a lot of opinions. I'll just go over this. Eric Bieniemy, based on the trend, should be a head coach. He should be, based on the trend. Because we've seen, like I just mentioned, the Chiefs' offense coordinators, and we know offense coordinators of teams that have very good offenses are likely, in this day and age, with the way the league is trending, with more offense, more scoring, just how it is, more points, that an offensive mastermind is or offensive coach is likely to be a head coaching gig. Now Eric Bieniemy has, not gotten that chance the last couple seasons. He's been the Chiefs offense coordinator. He's won 2 Super Bowls as the offense coordinator with the Chiefs. But the biggest option people will point to, and it's got a point, is color of his skin. Simply put. People pinpoint this to race, and I know that's controversial, but people have a point with that. And while I may be struggling, there's a lot of pinpoints people can point to, and people say he's bad interviewer nonetheless. One option is people just think he's in Andy Reid's shadow. And that's probably the big solo reason, besides maybe money and circumstances and living, settings, etc. Maybe the reason why he's taking a lateral move to go to the Commanders when this contract expires. Now, here's my option, or here's my point of view on the Commanders, or my 2 cents. Look, they went 8-1 under Scott Turner, the offense coordinator. they do have playmakers on offense. I just want people to realize that yes, they don't have Patrick Mahomes. But when you look at it, you could make an argument that the Commanders have a better supporting cast on offense in some areas than the Chiefs do. Because let's look at it. Okay. The quarterback's in limbo, but for now, Ron Rivera has said many times, okay, Sam Howell is going in as the starter. Okay. Running back. Antonio Gibson, J.D. McKissick, Brian Robinson Jr., as a rookie. After getting shot last season, or in the off season, and come back and have the season he had, that's very stellar. And against Isaiah Pacheco and that commit, Isaiah Pacheco had a great rookie season. For my money, he's up there for, or was up there for Rookie of the Year. Simply put, him, Dameon Pierce, those guys were unfortunate by their circumstances with, I would say, Pacheco with committee, Pierce being on Texans, and his injury at the end of the season ended. But okay, you can call that a little bit of an edge to the Chiefs, but it's not a big gap. Now let's look at receivers. Okay, now without Tyreek Hill. As of right now, you got Juju, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, Sky Moore, Kadarius Toney, John Ross looks to be, because of the reserves contract he signed with the Chiefs. That's an idea. But, very minimal production it's been for the last couple of seasons out of that whole crew. Then you look at, okay, Terry McLaurin. That's plus. You got Sims, you got Jahan Dotson, you got De'Ami Brown. You got some speed pretty much on that team. So, again, you got playmakers. Tight ends, Travis Kelce, obviously better. But Logan Thomas, provided he can be healthy, he's a stud for the Commanders. So again, you have talent. It's not like Eric Bieniemy is coming into a bizarre situation. And to be real, the Commanders were going to make the playoffs, pretty much. They should have made the playoffs, but they didn't get consistent quarterback play. Carson Wentz, the way he started, 1-4. Taylor Heinicke digged them out of a hole before they started digging it again with their late season kind of collapse, and still they finished 8-1 to start 1-4 to finish 7-4-1. I mean, solid performance, and the way it seems, Carson Wentz it's going to be cut. They will likely keep Taylor Heineke, I assume. But yeah, I mean, look, it's not a bad move. It's not a terrible move, like some may portray it to be. But I get it, making a lateral move, Bieniemy, instead of being a head coach. I get it if many are upset with that. I mean, they have a gripe. Now, two of Eric Bieniemy's running backs in Kansas City have both chimed in about the move to Washington, pretty much. So, Shane McCoy, one of the best running backs we've seen. For my money, the best running back I've seen in the snow games pretty much ever, was with the Chiefs during their previous Super Bowl run in 2019. He stated how at times Bieniemy would add nothing to the Chiefs' offense. How it was all Andy Reid. How he is pretty quiet. How he doesn't really speak up. Just, real criticism. And so he's like, why? Just why? He's not going to add anything to the Commanders' offense. Jamal Charles, the former veteran Chiefs running back, it's crazy. Those who were part of the core of running backs that, just when you had Adrian Peterson, Marshawn Lynch, CJ2K, Maurice Jones-Drew, Arian Foster, on and on. But, those who were part of the sum, and Jamal Charles chimed in and pretty much told Shane McCoy that he doesn't know what he's talking about, and said his 4 years he spent with Eric Bieniemy, saying he learned a lot from Bieniemy. And Shea spent 1 season with the Chiefs. Jamal Charles spent numerous. So, and Bieniemy used to be the running backs coach. So if anyone knows more than Jamal Charles, I'd like to know. But we'll see. Look, I think many predicted, not many predicted Chiefs to be bad this year. Look at my predictions. I predicted them to have a winning season. I just didn't know if they made the playoffs. Why? Because, the off-season storylines were what the Raiders were doing, bringing in studs. The Chargers, the Broncos. I mean, for the Chiefs, okay, credit to use that as, motivation, but to say people didn't expect to make playoffs or Super Bowl, then that's a silly story. But nonetheless, you can't expect the Chiefs to be bad this year. But if they do regress a bit, because, Matt Nagy, his stats with Chicago were not great with the offense. So, if they take a dip and Washington's offense, gets a bump and, say, maybe 10 wins, maybe double digits, or even 9 wins, and their offense is like upper half of the league, then maybe people are going to have no matter what, people are going to have a opinion about this move. Simply because of who Eric Bieniemy is. That's just a fact. But, hope for the best for both sides, and, we'll see. We'll see. It's been a while since I talked about hockey, or given some news about hockey. But we are getting much in the season. It's getting closer to playoffs. So, gotta give some shine and some lights as the ice gets colder and the games get more competitive. But it's timing quickly. So the Bruins, before I get into trade really quick, the Bruins, Boston Bruins, have been pretty much the number one base team so far this season. And as you see where this team stands, the trade makes a bit more sense. Because the Bruins currently have the best record in the NHL, 43-8 with 5 OTL. Then you look at under. But I would like to say the defending Stanley Cup champions, currently third place in the Central with, I just pulled up the standings on my phone, 31, 19, and 5. Have taken a bit of dip as Dallas and Winnipeg currently hold the leads over them, but they have taken a dip. But Colorado, see how they fire back. Obviously, Vegas controls the Pacific. I think that's no surprise. Carolina, Carolina Hurricanes, color me a bit surprised over the Rangers and the Islanders, but, you know, what can you say? What can you say? But the Toronto Maple Leafs, currently ahead of the Tampa Bay Lightning. In second place of the Atlantic, have said that in this trade, I got pulled up. So the Toronto Maple Leafs acquired centers Ryan O'Reilly and Noah Acciari, or Acciari, sorry for the butcher's name, in a 3-team trade that sent Adam Gaudette, Mikhail Abramov, a first rounder, a second rounder, and a third rounder to the Blues, and a fourth rounder to the Minnesota Wild. So that's key. That's key. As Toronto Maple Leafs aim to make a swoop in to make sure they hopefully supplant the Boston Bruins, as they're behind a few. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We know, first of all, with the Maple Leafs, it's pretty simple. You know, first of all, you gotta make the playoffs, and you gotta aim for that series win that they haven't done in a long time. We thought they were gonna do it last year versus Lightning. They were ahead 3-2, and then they lost the last 2 games. So, you know, it's a big swoop in for the Toronto Maple Leafs, but we'll see. We'll see. I think, you know, it's a key move. They're a really good team. You know, them, Austin Matthews, when healthy, you know, by all means, Toronto. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. NBA All-Star Weekend was pretty key. You know, I get it if people are not so great and not so keen on the All-Star games. You know, the All-Star game for the NBA, the Pro Bowl, you know, of course it's advertised, and yes, the top players from the league that year. And, you know, with the NBA, you know, it's pretty much, you know, how much scoring can we get with that game. But one thing you have to praise about the All-Star game compared to the Pro Bowl, simply put, even though it's a flag football game, still, all the top players basically played. or were there. I mean, LeBron was there. I mean, Steph, so, but because he was injured, he's been injured, but etc. LeBron, Giannis, with a sprained wrist, or an injured wrist, still there. Giannis was there, John Moran was there, Jokic was there, Luka was there, Kyrie, etc., etc. The big names that were healthy were legitimately there. And, I got a kick out of the choosing aspect of the All-Star game with Team Giannis, Team LeBron, simply because of Giannis. Giannis was hilarious. Well, that and Shaq. Giannis picking John Morant in the reserves was hilarious. That was just hilarious. John Morant was not even on the poll. So, that was hilarious. And, good for Anthony Edwards. LeBron made him the first pick of the reserves. So, good on Anthony Edwards. People will criticize, obviously picking the starters simply because, how do you let Jokic and Luka fall that far? Now I get it, John Morant, those guys, it's difficult when choosing the best of the best. And there's not huge gaps between all the players, but yeah. And I was very happy to see Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox both as reserves because, those guys have been a part of a great story with the Sacramento Kings this season. So great for them, And great for Lauri Markkanen. He has done a remarkable job with the Utah Jazz this season. Simply put, averaging like 25 points a game. What he has done for the Jazz and what many thought they would be rebuilding. He has done a very, very good job. And what he's done. And yes, he was the last pick of the starters for the NBA All-Star team. But credit to him. Credit. Now, as we know, Team Giannis won, 180 something to 170 something for Team LeBron. So, good for Team Giannis. Good for Jason Tatum to be the NBA All-Star MVP. So, grand ball. Great that Giannis seems to be healthy. So, good for the Bucks. But two of the winners we got to talk about for NBA All-Star Weekend. The first, Damian Lillard, who won the 3-point shooting contest this year for the NBA All-Star Weekend. Now credit Steph, was hurt, and last year was. It's interesting. Last year was Karl-Anthony Towns. This year, Damian Lillard. So, credit to Dame Time. I still wish he was on another team. But, credit to Damian Lillard. And then, but the guy who probably stole the show at NBA All-Star Weekend, Matt McClung won the slam dunk contest for NBA All-Star Weekend. Boy, did he show out. He showed out. Yo, 24 years old, out of the G League for the 76ers. He did some, I mean, last year, we know the slam dunk contest was a dud for All-Star Weekend. I mean, just seeing the faces all around was just saddening and just unfortunate. But seeing how McClung, now, it's got ways to get back on track. But what McClung did, hitting 250s, I mean, just remarkable. And the dude has got hops, what he was able to do, and credit to him, real credit to him. Trying for Georgetown. And the Tech. Ooh, 1 sec. Got text. One sec. Okay, my bad. So I was getting texts from group chat for one of my classes, but I'm sick. Okay. But yeah, nonetheless, that's all I have for today on the podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed. It goes a little over half an hour for you guys. Yeah. If you guys like this video, click that like button. Leave a thumbs up. Help out the video, help the channel. Subscribe. Yeah. Thank you all. Be safe. Peace. See you guys next week.